Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing? Sorry for 10 minutes, but being 10 minutes behind schedule. Um, and this is the first time I'm doing this social media family meeting on Instagram. So I decided to include Instagram from the second episode. So welcome to social media family meeting. I'm going to be focused more here. So you're basically going to be watching my side view, because um, these people that I'm looking at on Facebook, my Facebook main account, my Facebook page, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. So I'm going to be focused more in this direction. Okay. So bear with me. So, um, like you all know, I launched the social media family meeting last week, Wednesday. And then I said that going forward, we're going to be having, I just noticed that my necklace was hanging like so it was launched last week Wednesday, and we had a good time last week Wednesday, talking about self-discovery, personal discovery, and purpose discovery. So today I decided that we should talk about entrepreneurship. Personally, I am of the opinion that can just dare to acquire um, the working competency of an entrepreneur, then it doesn't matter what happens in the world. You will always know what to do. You would always be able to figure out a path for yourself. Doesn't matter what the economy is, you'll always know, you'll always be able to figure out things. Yeah. And so I know that a lot of people are entrepreneurs, but for those who are maybe trying to figure out their way in entrepreneurship, those are basically the focus of this episode. Okay. Of course, those who are learn, one or two things from this, but um a major focus for this episode are the upcoming entrepreneurs, the budding entrepreneurs, the medium, micro, small, and business owners. Yeah, those who are just few months or few years into business, and for some reason they're not able to pivot their current level, their current status. Yeah. So now there are five important pillars, or if you will, five important stages or segments of entrepreneurship that I'll be focusing on today. Now, if you want to become an entrepreneur, it must mean that you have identified existing problems. Maybe you want to solve one problem, or you want to solve more than one problem. Yeah. Without a problem to be solved, there is no entrepreneur. We won't have the making of an entrepreneur. Yeah. And it's pretty important that we understand that core at the core of entrepreneurship are existing problems. If there are no problems to be solved, then you're not an entrepreneur. So first, you need to identify what problems you want to solve. One of the major problems I identified was the problem of capacity development, human capacity development, and the problem of lack of sound education. For those who have been my friends, from time past, they know that I've always been about education, and I've always been passionate about human capacity development, most especially in the area of business, which is the reason why the two major problems I'm trying to solve for every individual or groups of people that I come in contact with per time is the problem of education and the problem of entrepreneurial capacity development. So those are basically the two major problems I'm solving. Yeah, there is a third one, which is wealth, wealth creation and all. But fundamentally speaking, the two major problems I'm trying to solve for every individual or groups of people that that comes in contact with me or that I come in contact with are trying to help as many people, including myself, because I'm still on that journey myself, to acquire universal tools for universal education, to acquire tools for universal human capacity development in the area of education and entrepreneurship. The problem that you might want to solve might be something else. It might be maybe there is no electricity in your village and you want to be the one to help solve that problem. Maybe you want to come up with a solution to hunger. You must identify amongst all the existing problems that exist, you must identify at least one that you want to zero in on to solve. Now, after you have picked one of the problems that you want to solve, the next thing is to try to figure out all that it will take to solve the problem. And the easiest way to do that is to find out who and where has such a problem been ever solved. Okay, find out who and where has such a problem been solved. Who has ever solved this kind of problem and where was it solved? That's a third important thing. You see, there are a couple of people who think that entrepreneurship is all about title, fancy title. It's way more than that. That's not entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is all about problem solving. You're an entrepreneur because your default setting is problem solving. And if I meet with each time I meet entrepreneurs, I ask them, so what problem have you solved? There are even folks who are entrepreneurs who have not even been able to solve their own basic personal problems. You're not an entrepreneur if you cannot solve your own basic personal problems. You know, it begins with you. Entrepreneurship begins with you. So, and there is the making of an entrepreneur. We were not born entrepreneurs from our mother's womb. You become an entrepreneur over a period of time. There are many entrepreneurs today who are well-established entrepreneurs who at some point in time they were not entrepreneurs. They didn't even know what the concept of entrepreneurship meant at some point in their lives, and today they're established. Yeah. So the third important stage of becoming an entrepreneur is to find out for sure what it will take to solve the problem in advance. That's what this, in was it Stevie Covey's book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, where he said that begin with one of the seven habits is beginning with the end in mind. Yeah, is to count your cost. Basically, of course, you might not be able to succinctly count the cost, but you need to have an estimated cost. What will it cost me to solve this problem? And every entrepreneur has this default mindset that everything is figure outable. Every problem is figure outable. You can figure out the solution to any problem. There is no problem that cannot be solved. That is the working mindset of an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is not the type who complains about anything. What the entrepreneur does is basically trying to figure out where the solution to the problem is. So you do that. The fourth stage of entrepreneurship is to build a business around that problem-solving adventure, because it's a problem-solving adventure. It doesn't matter. Yeah, thanks, Kenny. At least you're the first to drop a comment. Yeah. So you need to know in advance that if you can solve any kind of problem, then you can make money solving that problem. I have personal experience of offering myself to the service of people, and eventually ending up in a very, very terrible economic position because I did not learn the business of entrepreneurship. I've always been good with my hands. I've always been good with my mind. I've always had this engineering mind. So I easily help people solve problems. But back in the day, no one taught me, the business, how to master the business of my talent, for instance, because I have multiple talents, as a matter of fact. You know, nobody taught me those things. Nobody taught me the business of entrepreneurship. Nobody taught me business. So I had to figure this out myself the hard way. Now, the essence of this episode is that you shouldn't go the hard way before you can achieve your end goal as an entrepreneur. Now, that's the fourth stage, building a business. Yeah. Thanks, Kenny. Thanks. Building a business around that problem. And then the fifth and final stage is mentorship and coaching. Mentorship and coaching. If there is nothing you want to accomplish, except maybe you want to invent something, yeah. Except you want to invent something, yeah, it's okay. If you've developed or invested in your mind to the point where it can influence the invention of something completely new. Nobody has ever, had that thing since the history of humanity. Then, and most people who invent stuff already had successful careers in something that previously existed. So you rarely become an inventor just by waking up to become an inventor. That probably you've had a hand-to-hand combat with problem solving. You have had tons and tons of problems that you have encountered in the journey of your life, and then you've been able to, on the back of that, develop an inventor's mind. Yeah, it's possible to have an inventor's mind, to develop an inventor's mind. Different factors that contribute to the development of an inventor's mind. But today, what we are talking about is entrepreneurship. Without mentorship and coaching, you most likely are not going to go far as an entrepreneur. I remember back in the day when I was, traveling this gruesome journey all by myself. I didn't really have a mentor. I was just doing trial and error, and I made a lot of errors, made a lot of mistakes, failed a lot at different things that I tried out because I didn't have the mentorship insight. Mentorship is catalyst to mastery. Coaching is catalyst to mastery. When you have a coach or you have a mentor, an entrepreneurial mentor, you are going to make less errors compared to someone else who doesn't have. Now, if you can learn to pay, and like I said, I'm talking to maybe budding entrepreneurs. When we talk about financial independence and then eventually financial freedom, we're talking about someone who has economic standing, someone who has control, who is the one wielding the influence over their own economic standing. Yeah. Such a person cannot be controlled by anybody. So long as you are the one in charge of paying your bills, nobody can control you, except you willfully give off yourself to be controlled. Yeah. So I don't care if you're 15, 18, or 22. If you can learn how to generate your own income, nobody can control you, including your parents. The best they will do for you is to give you advice, and it's still at your prerogative to take to that advice, to hit that advice. Because anyone who can make their own money is already ahead of the pack. Is maybe already amongst the top the top 5% or the top 10% of the people of this world. You know, and it is the people in the 90% that get controlled by the 10%. Really, if you really can have learned how to make your own money, and you have actually learned how to make a lot of it, there is no way anybody will be, would control you. Instead, you'll be the one controlling people. Now, more than any other time in the history of modern humans, we live in a highly destructive world. meaning that you have to be 10 times more proactive about marshalling the things you want to accomplish in our day compared to any other era of dispensation. I talk about FOMO, fear of missing out. You because of the age of this social media, you find that a lot of people tend to be easily influenced by what's happening on social media. Somebody says he or she is an entrepreneur, and then they have social media accounts for their businesses. Now they say they want to go online to go post about their business, and 4 hours online they have not made that post, because the moment they came online, they got distracted by this comedy skit, they got distracted by that drama, they got distracted by that post, and 4 hours into social media, they have still not made their business post. And it happens often like that with a lot of people who are not really proactive about how to use social media and not allow themselves be used by social media. Because at the end of the day, if you say you're an entrepreneur, you definitely should have a roadmap. There is a roadmap that will lead you to a particular destination. And if you do not stick to that roadmap, there's every tendency that you are not going to achieve your end goal. Which there are 5 very important things that every entrepreneur needs to pay attention to. I tell people that what separates a great entrepreneur from a mediocre entrepreneur is not great ideas, because a mediocre entrepreneur can have great ideas, just as a great entrepreneur had a great idea, and upon the back of that great idea was what helped him transition to becoming a great entrepreneur. So a mediocre entrepreneur can have great ideas, same as a great entrepreneur. But what really makes a great entrepreneur is not great ideas, but work ethic. Work ethic. I heard that when Bill Gates was building Microsoft, with his co-founder, that for 10 straight years, he never went on vacation. 10 straight years, from 1st of January to 31st of December, for 10 years. And that in those 10 years, he was working every single day. No rest. The only time he's resting is when he's sleeping at night. And he only goes to bed at night when he's exhausted. And I can name other great entrepreneurs who had sickening work ethic. That's what Will Smith calls it. Now there are 5 important things to pay attention to if you want to become a great entrepreneur. Number 1 is a mindset. What makes you an entrepreneur is your mindset, nothing else. Your default mindset for problem solving. And before you will have that mindset, you must have encountered problems multiple times, over a period of time. And you have proactively tried to solve those problems. Even if you were not able to figure out how to solve those problems, some of those problems that showed up in your past, even if you were not able to successfully solve them, the attempt alone is part of the requirements for the making of the mindset of an entrepreneur. So, first thing first, the mindset of an entrepreneur is what makes you an entrepreneur. The default mindset of real entrepreneurs is anytime they come in contact with any problem, even if the problem concerns them directly or not, their mind is already trying to figure out what the solution to the problem is. Which is the reason why such people, even if they encounter hurdles in their business or challenges, they are not the ones who easily give in to challenges. It is the so-called entrepreneurs who have not developed the mindset of an entrepreneur yet that easily chickens out of challenging times in business. Once you as an individual, once you as a real entrepreneur have developed the mindset of an entrepreneur, there is nothing in this life that can shake you. The only thing that will be in your mind, at the back of your mind every time, is, okay, so how do I figure this out? Because you know that everything is figure outable. Every problem is figure outable. So, and the functional way to go about developing the mindset of an entrepreneur is to not be the type of person that runs away from problems. If you're the type of person that runs away from problems, you're never going to become an entrepreneur. You're always looking for an escape route, a way of escape. You know, you're never going to become an entrepreneur. You're never going to adopt the mindset that powers entrepreneurship, that powers problem solving. So mindset is number one. Number two is tool set. Whatever entrepreneur you are or you want to become, the fundamental question, apart from the mindset development, that you should ask yourself is, what are the tools of this entrepreneurial craft? What tools? What tools do I need to deploy this entrepreneurship? What tools do I need? That it is the introduction of tools that makes it the business of entrepreneurship. That makes it the business of entrepreneurship. People have said online that, come and acquire this skill, acquire digital skill, whatever. I tell people that nobody acquires any skill. You don't learn how to acquire a skill. That's what I mean. Nobody learns how to acquire a skill. The only way you're going to acquire any skill is by um, finding the tool that you need to. That's the only way you're going to acquire skill. It is in the use of tools that skillfulness emerge. It is on the back of the use of tools that you become skilled at something. So it is the tools of your craft. You ask yourself, what are the tools I need? What are the tools I need to become a great entrepreneur? What are the tools I need to solve the problems of my industry? What are the tools? And these are some of the things that coaching helps you gain a handle on, gain an insight to. The tools mastery is one of the fundamental requirements for becoming a great entrepreneur. Then, of course, the third important thing is skills, which I just explained. The only way you're going to gain skills or become skillful at anything is by using specific tools. In the using those tools, you're going to become skillful. You're going to have skills. Yeah. And the more skillful you become at using a tool, the more you are able to penetrate the marketplace. The more you become sought after or highly sought after by prospect in your marketplace. Then the fourth and fifth important things to pay attention to are work ethic and discipline. Work ethic and discipline. I get a lot of, every now and then, folks coming into my DM to say that, okay, I'm a graphic designer, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a content creator, I'm a copywriter, and I'm like, okay, how good are you? And they're like, oh, I'm very good. Okay, I'm like, okay, let me give you a job. And then I give them, and then I'm asking, so when are you going to submit this job? When are you going to submit, deliver the job to me? And they're like, oh, okay, in the next 48 hours. And then 72 hours has passed. They have not delivered the job. 4 days, 5 days have passed. They've not delivered the job, and they've not even communicated anything. That's indiscipline. That's lack of work ethic. And I mean, lack of work ethic or lack of discipline is not going to take you anywhere. You're never going to become a great entrepreneur on the back of lack of discipline or lack of work ethic. Yeah. So I'm not seeing much people here. I thought that maybe we're going to have a question and answer session, but I'm not seeing much people. Well, I didn't really do much of sending out invite for this particular because I was very, very busy. I was busy with work. I was busy with I have a 30-day sales challenge currently ongoing, and I have a lot of tasks that I'm handling for all the participants, and I couldn't really, invite a couple of my friends to join. But anyways, if you watch the rebroadcast, if you joined us late and you watch the rebroadcast and you have any question, I have a couple of ways to help people become functional entrepreneurs. I have a couple of ways to help people pivot into great entrepreneurs. I'm on the journey. I've been on the journey since 2006, from when I was an undergraduate. And I have a couple of things that to help people just pivot as entrepreneurs. I have a social media mastermind where I teach people how to use social media properly, how to use social media to generate 6, 7 figure monthly income. You know, I currently started the 30-day sales challenge for those who are entrepreneurs, but for some reason they are solo entrepreneurs and they have never learned how to sell or sell well. And folks who are salespeople who have never learned, what master sales or selling or closing. Sales challenge is um, it's a sales challenge that you can use to master and pivot this. There are in the August edition of the 30-day sales challenge. I'm really enjoying their feedback and I'm really stretching them. That's what the sales challenge is about. I want to stretch you. I'm going to stretch them, help them stretch their capacity, expand their mind, help them pivot their capacity for selling. They'll be able to sell anything once they are done with the sales challenge. Yeah. And then also, I made an announcement a couple of days ago that I'm going to be having a 3-day content creation masterclass online, a 3-day content creation masterclass. So for those who want to learn the arts and science of content creation, then you be on the lookout for the flyer. The flyer is going to come out maybe tomorrow or thereabout. And I've chosen a date, 25th to 27th of August. So you want to learn, how to publish your own book. You want to learn how to be a content creator that can be earning up to ₦1 million or 2 million naira or 5 million naira per month. You want to learn everything about content creation, content writing, video content, video scripting. You're going to learn everything you need to learn about becoming a professional content creator who would start earning 6, 7 figure income monthly. So I'm a content creator. I'm a multifaceted content creator, and I've created different forms of content, and I create different forms of content even as we speak. Yeah. So you're gonna learn a great deal of things from it, and you're gonna see the flyer probably tomorrow, next tomorrow, and I'll start, inviting people to subscribe in order for them to be able to attend. And the social media family meeting exists to just enlighten the my followers, my friends, those who are currently my friends and those who are going to become my friends in the future. It's going to be ongoing every Wednesday by 3 p.m. We're going to choose different topics. Right now, I'm still the only one, but the plan is to have guests join us. I'll be the host, and they'll be my guests. Guests in different industries, different niches. Bring them in. Maybe you have a desire or a plan to go in a particular career path. We'll bring folks who are already established and give you some tips in about 45 minutes to 1 hour of the social media mastermind. So if you have any question, just drop it in the comment section. If you don't get to ask me the question live, then you can always ask it once this rebroadcast is published, and then we can take it up from there. So if you need any help, you have any challenge as far as being an entrepreneur is concerned, or being a salesperson is concerned, or maybe you're not an entrepreneur yet, you're not a salesperson yet, and you want to become an entrepreneur, I'm Africa's first holistic entrepreneurship coach. I started my entrepreneurship journey since 2006. I'm never going to stop. I have a couple of experiences. I published a book earlier this year on my 37th birthday. I'm planning to publish a book on entrepreneurship in November, hopefully in November, because I'm not done with the book yet. And an attempt to help just, have a better version of their able to things happen, be able to a happy life, a happy path, And if you have any question, just let me know. Once this rebroadcast has been published, let me know. And then going forward, subsequently, you can always dial in if you want to partner with me on this social media family meeting. Let me know. Send me a message, info at Show Ambassador, an email, info at showambassador.africa, and we can become partners. You want to sponsor it, you want to advertise here. I know we are small now, we're just starting, but you're going to become big. You watch, because of the quality of content that we're going to be given. Yeah. And these are information that people can literally use today. They can literally implement today. Yeah. But if it's just for 1 hour, and if you need help personally, one-on-one coaching of some sort, reach out to me as well via info at showambassador.africa. I sleep, eat, dream entrepreneurship. I breathe entrepreneurship. I'm always figuring out better strategies. Oh, I'm always doing that. So long as I can sleep in the night and I can wake up in the morning. If I'm sleeping, I'm dreaming about entrepreneurship. Trust me, because my major focus is things that has to do with entrepreneurship. And if I'm awake, then I'm awake to proactively launch into the day entrepreneurially. So if you have any issues as far as your business is concerned, reach out to me. I'm also a peak performance consultant. Yeah. So I literally help people take their business from where it is right now to where they want to be, where they want it to be. Yeah. So yeah, if you have any questions, drop it in the comment section and I'll try my best to do justice. So next week, Wednesday, make it a date with me, and there'll be an exciting topic. And then if you want us to address an aspect of entrepreneurship, also send me an email, info at showambassador.africa. If you want us to treat any topic, whatever topic, that has to do with entrepreneurship, strictly entrepreneurship and business. Yeah, whatever aspect of entrepreneurship or business that you want us to treat in our next edition, just make sure that you let me know 4 days before Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Not later than Sunday. Or let me just say, not later than Monday. Well, Mr. Maker, with the 2023 election approaching, I'm having prospects who are just making promises on buying that plot of land. Is there a way I can convince them to buy it now? Okay. I don't know whether I told you about it. There is a strategy, and if the people, okay, are they diasporans? Are they diasporans? The prospect, are they diasporans? Even if they're not diasporans, even if they're in Nigeria, one of the things you can do is to really sit down on the properties that you know to them and find out every benefit information. And the first initial information is that you can figure out how to the return on investment, the guaranteed return on investment, and of that guaranteed return. One of the things I like to do is to go to certain properties and do a WhatsApp video call with them and show them the property I'm trying to let them see, show them the environment, maybe even if it's a developed environment or a developing environment and things like that. You have to have certain uncommon information that is powerful enough to get them to send the money right now. For instance, well, they are afraid that there'll be chaos, there'll be turmoil 2023. Well, nobody can really say what will happen in 2023. Yeah, but there's been all kinds of things happening, and there's been banditry, there's been a Boko Haram, all kinds of things happening. Yet, no matter what's happening, even if there is war, land will remain. Even if there is war, states will remain. Yeah, states will remain. So if they have documents, even if they bond the Ministry of Lands and Works bonds, it doesn't mean that if you have your documents, you cannot go and present it once they have rebuilt the Ministry of Land and Works, Land and Housing. I say Land and Works, Land and Housing, or Land Housing and Works. Yeah. So so long as you have the entitlement to a piece of land, if war happens, the land does not disappear. The land remains there. Yeah, for as long as nationhood exists, there will be need for for people to have a place of abode, and even if what happens, it's another opportunity for real estate to start afresh or something. Yeah. So, but I'm confident that nothing of such is going to happen in 2023, because we're looking at certain indices, and we're looking at the unifying factor of the young people of this country, and the people that they use to commit mayhem are mostly the young people. And with the kind of awareness and education, political awareness and education that is happening right now, you see a lot of young people becoming more and more politically enlightened, and it will lead to a good place. I am confident that it will lead to a good place. Yeah, I know that a lot of people who feel that they are the inheritors or the caretakers of the power structure, who might think that there is nothing, there is nothing, there is nothing. It's a do or die affair. It's either I either become the president or I don't. Well, we've seen it happen in other countries, and so long as there is this unifying factor amongst the people, most especially the larger population, in our case, the young people, I mean, there will be a lot of shocker in 2023. I'm very confident that yes, there will be appeals. There will be different appeals after the election has happened, but I'm very confident that there is not going to be all these doomsday prophecies. Really, is not going to happen. So your own is to figure out what their fears are. What exactly are they afraid of? Then come up with the antidote to that fear. You can't assume it. What are they afraid of? They're afraid of that there'll be war. But try to look for articles of people of authority in society, people of authority and integrity, their projections. Get those links and send it to them for them to read. Because see, the reason they are afraid is because they're getting too much negative information from maybe gossip bloggers or whatever bloggers. All these news bloggers, they're getting too many, because more especially those in diaspora, even people at home. I don't listen to the news. Rather I would focus on the invisible apparatuses that powers the economy. It is those things that I need to concern myself with, not the essay of people, even if they are bloggers, even if they are newscasters, even if they are presenters in or on popular TV stations. I mean, it is the real apparatuses that powers an economy that I should focus on. And most of these people don't talk about even the so-called business news on TV. Those things are not really the things, the information that an investor needs. It is the invisible things that are happening. It is the behind the scene things that are happening that never comes to the fore. So your job really is to ensure that you get your hands on those sensitive information. There are some things I can't really say at this live. You get your hands on those sensitive information and you send it over to them. There is no way to not change their mind, or at least tilt the pendulum of changing their mind in a positive direction, however little. So most of them are, that they are going on different blogs and reading all kinds of rubbish. Most of those bloggers hungry. Most of those bloggers who, the only way they earn money is through they ask the money, click people clicking on their whatever, line on their blogs and all of that. Yeah. So most of those people do not have authenticated information, whereas these are the information that most of these people feed on. So your job really is to feed them with the information that would empower them, information that will weaken them, or that would, make them be gripped by fear. You know, your prospect is peculiar. Find out some peculiar things about their fears, their dreams, their hopes, and then you can use all of that to get your hands on the information that aligns or counters their negative emotions, like their fears. Yeah. So basically, that's it. Thank you so much, Mr. Emeka, for joining. I appreciate your question, and we can talk at the back as well. So thank you for the question. So if there's no other question, let us kindly ensure that you have a date with me next week, Wednesday, and by 3 p.m. And there'll be a new, topic to discuss. And I'm going to be doing this every Wednesday, even if it's just one person that joins me. A couple of people have joined. I see them joining and leaving, joining and leaving. It's okay, but I appreciate the fact that they joined. So kindly help me share if you can. Kindly help me share this, and we'll see you next week, Wednesday, with another topical discussion. Take care of yourself, everybody.